Hello there, HVAC family. Back at you again. It's your boy, Mr. Heating and AC of Thermodynamic Technologies. I'm just out here taking a break in between calls. I had a evaporator coil replaced, changed out this morning, and so I'm just finishing it up and having me a little lunch. But I just want to talk to you a little bit about HVAC, heating and air conditioning, and my drive and passion and what brought me to this point. Me, myself, I always had a desire to help people. And I mean help people by fixing things with my hands. That was my strongest desire, was to be able to fix things. I love fixing things, taking stuff apart. And so I was always tinkering, I even took up electronics, small engine. I just love things that I could do with my hands. We were very creative also. And and my journey brought me into HVAC. And again, I started cutting duct in the shop. I was a fabricator. And I always liked it, And it was fun. The guys were cool, there was always something going on. And then I moved into retro. Retro is when we adapt a system to an existing home where somebody already lived. You got to be careful when you're doing retro because, you're cutting plaster or either drywall. And then I moved into new home construction, which, you can run everything on the joists because it sticks, and you just run it across the joists. And that was cool too. I love roughing. When you go into a rough end and the first thing in the morning, you smelling that wood and all of the building materials, coal in the morning, and we just doing rough end, knocking it out, man. It was cool, man. I loved it. It was fun too. But it was rough work. And then I said, well, I used to look at the service technician. I'm like, man, his job, he always by himself. He got a bag of tools, and he go and fix the thing, man. I was like, wow, that's cool. That was something really cool. And so I began to devote my desire towards that aspect of what we do, service. And, I just put everything into it, man. It was just something I wanted. I wanted it so much so that my desire just took me on a journey to acquiring and achieving and put me in a place that I could always learn the things that I needed to learn to become a great technician. Number one, I went to a technical trade school, local, for 4 years, and I had already had 15 years in the trade. And the thing about service is a practice. We are practitioners, so you have to, once you get the seat hours in school, and even after you get your journey, you still have to apply the knowledges that you learn. They don't, just because you come out of school, don't think you're going to be a technician and that meter is going to be your friend and those gauges going to, you're going to be the best at what's happening out here. It's not true, man. My greatest triumphs came from my greatest failures. At times, I would go on a service call, man, and a 24-volt circuit would keep me for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to figure it out. Now it's something totally different, Time is of the essence. But yeah, so I just stayed with it, man. I would come home sometimes and I would just feel defeated because, a service technician HVAC is a thinking man's game. It's a game from the neck up. You got to think your way through. And experience, getting into the trenches and the traps of the HVAC system, knowing also sequence of operation, and also having your tool game up to where what good tools, all of us know what good tools do for you. You can't come in with a hammer and a screwdriver talking about you're going to be a serviceman. No, you have to have all the right tools, and quite a few of them out here that we need to make these systems, to analyze diagnose and get these systems back online or even install them. But, and I stayed with it, man. Even in my greatest failures, I just stayed with it. I didn't give up, man. I ain't turn away from it. And I just said, well, look, this is what I want. And I kept at it. You know, anything that you want and desire with the passion, you know, even though it might not be going well, it's worth staying with it, you know, if you really want it, you know, and that's life, man. That right there, that aspect and that philosophy transcends it transcends HVAC, and it's something you can use in all aspects and corners of your life. You know, so just stay with it, be persistent, and be consistent. That's what love is, love and passion. That's what it is, a strong desire. And I had it. I'm not the best, but I ain't no slouch either. So, for all you want to get in the game, you know, just, you know, stay with it. And don't let nobody discourage you, because there's a lot of haters out here who will try.